Hello everybody and welcome back to Quin Coins, your home for treasure hunting of all kinds. In today's video, we're going to be checking out a couple of different cleaning methods for both copper and silver coins. This video was inspired by a recent coin roll hunt I did where I found a coin that I wasn't able to identify because of all this gunk on the top. So today we're going to be seeing if we can get some of that off. In addition to this coin, which actually inspired this video, I have a couple of silver coins which I recently found in the coinstar machine, believe it or not, which are actually kind of dirty, and I'm going to see if I can clean those up as well. Alright, so we're going to start off with this coin that we found in a recent video. This is the one that inspired this video, and as you can see here, what I've done here is I've soaked this coin in hot water for the last hour. Basically what we have here is some sort of paper-based sticker on the coin, as well as a thin layer of glue, and this is the kind of stuff that we're trying to get off today. So I figured we'd start with water. I don't want to do any chemicals if we don't have to. As you can see, it's been soaking in that water for about an hour. I'll go ahead and flip it over to the obverse side here so you can kind of see what that looks like. As you can see, there is no damage on that side, but if you go to this other side over here, which actually contains the date, you can see quite a bit of debris. It looks like some sort of a sticker, like I said. So we'll take a look at that now. You can see it's been soaking for a while, and we can see quite a bit of it at this point. What we know for sure is that it's a 1940 something, and the reason that that's significant is because we have our Canadian collection over here, and we need quite a few of the 1940s. So depending on that last digit, we may actually need this coin in the collection, whether it's a 1941, 43, 44, or a 48, then we will need it in the collection. So like I said, guys, this has been soaking for about an hour. I think it's about ready for us to try and get some of that stuff off of there. So what I've done here is I have a little thing of toothpicks, so I'm just going to grab one of these out, and then I'm just going to kind of start scratching away at that paper just ever so gently, and see if we can get that stuff to come off, because I really like to get it off, like I said, without using any chemicals on our first try. So as you can see here on the edge, we have a layer of glue. We may go for that later if we feel like it, but I think just getting this paper layer off is going to be our first goal. So let's see if we can try and get that little pieces of paper off there. And honestly, this isn't looking like it's going to be as easy as I had hoped. It looks like that stuff is pretty stuck on there, so we may have to try another method. Looks like some of it is coming off, but the base layer is still not budging at all, unfortunately. So I think we may have to bring in the heavies, guys. I'm going to keep working on this and see if I can at least reveal that second digit there, or that fourth digit rather, and then I'll let you guys know if I'm able to do that. Alright guys, so a couple more scrapes now, and it looks like that fourth digit is starting to reveal itself. I haven't really figured it out yet, so I think we're going to need to scrape at it a little longer. As you can see, my toothpick is getting a little dull here, so we might have to grab another one of those as well. But I think we're getting really close here. Just a few more scrapes and we should be able to make out that fourth digit. It's kind of looking like there's some curvature, so we may have a 43 here, is what I'm seeing on initial inspection. Let's see if we can just move a little bit more of that out on the bottom, and we should be able to see the actual date on this coin. And now guys, if we do get the date just using this method, I'm not actually sure if I want to go any further, to be honest with you, because if you think about it, you know, like I said in the beginning of the video, putting more chemicals on the coin is going to damage the value of the coin. So if we can just get this to show the date, I think that's pretty much going to be enough for me. So let's go ahead and move it now that we've kind of scraped a little more off of it. Let's take a look at it. Alright guys, it looks like it definitely is going to be a 1943, which is great news for us, because that is actually one of the coins that we need in the collection right here. So that is another coin that we just got out of that box, and if you haven't seen that video already, I'll link that up above here. It was definitely a great box and a very long video. Hopefully you have time for that. Alright, so now that the coin has dried up a little bit, I realize that I'm a little bit better able to just kind of push this stuff off. I'm going to see how much of it I can get off, just to kind of clear the coin up here. And if we can get a lot of it off, that would be really great, because the less of this stuff that we have to see on the coin, the better for sure. Alright guys, so I went ahead off camera and rubbed off as much of that sticker substance that I could. As you can see, there's still quite a bit of glue on it. None of that was coming off, unfortunately. But we did get as much of that sticker off as we possibly could. And as you can see, we have a nice 1943 Canadian penny. King George on the back as well. Definitely one of my favorite coins to find. I think this was the third one that we found in the box. That was definitely a record breaker for me. All right, so there you have it. The 1943 is secure in the collection, and I flipped to the page in my Canadian coin book to see how rare that one is compared to the others. And it actually looks like it's one of the most common coins. You can see right here, 1943, 89 million minted, and in very good 8. You get a 15-cent coin right there. That's still a good return on your investment if you think about it. But actually, I believe that is the most common King George VI in the entire series, so I'm kind of surprised that this is the first time that we were able to come across it. But like I said, guys, these don't come up very often, so I'm definitely happy to have that coin into the collection. It is getting very difficult to find these coins, so always happy to get another one. So I'm sure if you follow my channel, you know what a coinstar is. Basically, it's those machines in the grocery stores that people dump their coins into and get cash back for a small fee. The reason that I like these things is because if you look into the reject slots of these, a lot of times you will find coins, and sometimes you'll even find silver coins. That was definitely the case for me within the last week. I actually had 2 separate incidents where I found a single silver dime. Both of them actually ending up being 1964 in the Coinstar machines at 2 different grocery stores. So this first one right here, you can see is pretty clean already, so there's really no need to clean that one. It's actually very nice looking, especially on that reverse right there. But this one, on the other hand, you can see has a little bit of dirt going. It's a little bit tarnished as well. And so we're going to be looking to clean up this silver dime right here. And just in case you're curious, 1964 and prior in both the dimes, quarters, and half dollars are 90% silver. So that's what you're going to be looking for if you're interested in finding silver in circulation. So this one just made the cutoff. It's a very popular dime, 1964. And like I said, we're going to be trying to get some of that tarnish off of the second one. Now, my third Coinstar find was a little bit more significant. As you can see right here, we got a whole bunch of coins in there. And let me know if you can spot the silver one out of this lot right here. Now, I know that if you're a seasoned coin roll hunter, you know right away that it's going to be this 1968 Denver. Now, one thing that people don't know about half dollars is that while they did make 90% silver half dollars up through 1964, they actually continued making these out of 40% silver from 1965 up through 1970. So right here we have a 40% silver 1968 Denver half dollar. And as you can see, this one as well is a little bit tarnished. It's got some dirt, got some grime, especially on this backside. So we're going to see what we can do to that and see if we can kind of clean it up. So with these coins in particular, I'm not too worried about ruining any numismatic value. These are basically just worth melt value in silver, which for each of the dimes would be about $1.50, and then I believe for the 40% half dollar would be about $2.50. Really, all I'm interested in right now is seeing if we can make these coins look nice by cleaning them up, making them nice and sparkly, and see a little shine on Roosevelt and Kennedy there. So let's go ahead and see if we can do that. All right, so to clean these 2 coins right here, I'm going to be using this 100% acetone, which is more commonly known as a nail polish remover. And basically what I'm going to be doing is taking some of these Q-tips here, just going to get a little bit of acetone on the Q-tip and then apply it to both the front and back of the coin and see how that does to begin with. If that doesn't work, then I'll try and douse the thing in acetone. And then of course I always have this little bucket here of water, which I'm going to be using to neutralize whatever we put on the coin. So I'm going to start with the dime here. I'm going to go ahead and remove the cap from the acetone, dip the Q-tip into the acetone, and then we're just going to go ahead and start applying this to the front of the coin and see if we're going to be able to get some of that tarnish off of there. So we'll go ahead and take the dime right here and just start applying that to the front of the coin. So definitely be careful to not get this on your fingers if you can avoid it. I'm not too worried about it right now because I have the water here, but just as like a little warning, if you're going to try this at home, try not to get this on your fingers. It would probably be a good idea. All right, so let me know if you guys are seeing a difference. I'm definitely seeing a difference on the face at this point, but I think it's a little harder to see if anything is going on the sides of that coin. I think it's definitely shining up a little bit here. You can still see some dark stuff on the edges of the coin there. We'll see once we flip it over to the back side if there's any major difference there. But just sort of applying a little bit to the front of the coin right now to see if that does anything. Not seeing a huge difference, but we'll go ahead and dip it in the water and then take a look at the front of the coin once again and see if we can see any sort of difference. Alright, so here we go. We got the front of the coin right here. Not seeing a whole lot of difference at this point, so I think what we're going to do is try this one more time, and if we still don't see a huge difference, then I'm just going to dip it in acetone and then leave it in there for a few minutes and see if we can get some of that grime off of there. Alright guys, so I attempted to apply more of the acetone using the Q-tip, but this really didn't have very much of an effect. As you can see, we don't see a huge difference there. So what I decided to do was to take this second tray, which I have here, which is a little bit smaller than the one with water in it, and I'm just going to dump a whole bunch of this acetone into this tray, and then we're going to go ahead and just soak these coins in the acetone, and we'll probably do this for maybe 10 or 20 minutes, depending on how much time we have, and I guess just how effective it is. I'll just go ahead and try to pour this up almost to the top, but not quite, and then we'll just start soaking the coins in the stuff and see if this works. This stuff really isn't too expensive. I think I picked this up for $3 or $4, this whole jug of it right here. So what I'm going to do is just take the dime right here, and we will drop that in, and then we'll do the same for the $half. Just go ahead and drop it into the acetone bath, and we'll let those sit for a little while, and then I'll come back to you. We'll pull them out and see what we can do, and see if we can get any of that dirt off. So we'll go ahead and let that sit, and I'll get back to you guys in a few minutes. Alright, so I've let these coins sit for about 5 minutes in that acetone. It looks like it's actually doing something to the container, as you can see right here with these little ripples. I'm not seeing a huge difference so far, but what I'm going to do now is grab them out of there and then put them into the water over on this side, and they're actually kind of stuck to the bottom, which I wasn't expecting. I'm thinking maybe I shouldn't do this in plastic. That might have been a bad idea. Yeah, I'm definitely picking up some of the plastic here. Okay, that was definitely not a good idea to do this in a plastic bag, or a plastic container rather. I'm actually not sure what this stuff is, so we'll go ahead and jeez, that is weird. Do you guys remember that thing I said in the beginning of the video about not being an expert? Was it obvious? Mistake number 1. Acetone dissolves plastic, so don't use it with plastic. That was the first thing that I found out. As you can see here, when I pulled the coins out of the acetone, there was all of this goopy stuff coming off of it, which basically defeats the purpose of using it in the first place. This is some sort of combination of acetone plus the plastic from the tray that I was using, which basically I had to throw away because it got completely dissolved, and then it started sticking to the washcloth that was on the bottom of it. So that's the stuff that you see floating in the water there. And then on top of that, after pulling the coins out and rinsing them in water, you can pretty much see that there's hardly any definition on these coins. I mean, there's really no cleaning whatsoever going on here. I can't really tell a difference. I lost the gloves, by the way, because they got soaked in the acetone, and it turns out that this is not something that you want to have on your skin. So I will definitely make sure to let you guys know that when I am editing this video. But as you can see, you can kind of see little pieces of plastic still stuck onto this coin. Not a whole lot of cleaning going on, because you can still see quite a bit of tarnish on the coin, especially on the front. And then the $half doesn't look a whole lot better. So I think this just kind of confirms that coins probably shouldn't be cleaned, especially if you don't know what you're doing. So I apologize for not doing enough research into what acetone does. I kind of wanted to just go into this blind and see what would happen, but it looks like that was definitely not the way to go in this case, and probably in any case. So I apologize for that, but hopefully that was at least entertaining, guys. We were able to get that copper coin to show for us. Of course, we only used water, and there's really nothing that we can possibly do bad with just water. But as soon as we started using the acetone, this is the result. So definitely would not recommend. Fortunately, the value on these coins, at least to me, hasn't really changed, because these are only worth silver melt, and I'm pretty sure anybody would still buy these at their silver melt price. But that is sort of a bummer that we had to go through all of that pain. And like I said, guys, don't get this on your fingers. I've been scraping at my fingers for a long time, but I still have these pieces of plastic stuck, and I, for the life of me, cannot get them off. So definitely don't touch this with your bare hands. Don't use plastic with acetone, and probably just don't use acetone at all. This was not a very good showing of what this stuff can do. I know that it can be powerful if used under the right situations, but I'm definitely gonna have to do my research before attempting this one again. Well, anyways, guys, thanks for watching this disaster of a video. Hopefully at least the first half was informative on how to clean coins with water and a toothpick. I think that's a good method if you're just trying to get some surface stuff off. Of course, it's not going to get the glue, and it doesn't use any chemicals, which is nice. As far as acetone goes, not going to touch the stuff for a while. If you have any tips for me, let me know down in the comments below. I might try this again, but definitely going into it blind was a bad idea, so I apologize for that once again. But if you enjoyed, make sure to go down below and leave a like. Subscribe if you're new, because I post new videos like this every single week. I always bring you along with the hunts or whatever I'm doing. And as always, I'm Quinn, and this is Quin Coins signing out. And I will see you guys in the next video.